This is Ayman Khan here for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, here with the one and only Shane McGuigan, who's pulled triple duty tonight. Shane, first of all, let's start with the top of the card. Chris Billam-Smith victorious, an attritional affair, got the win.
Yeah, exactly that. Attritional fight, we had to make it physical early on. Isaac Chamberlain's a great fighter, especially if you give him room and space. He's got good feints, got good jabs, got good all the skills, head movement, everything. So take that away from him, stick it on and make it physical early on, and I think Chris did that well, especially with the 5-week camp. Nothing's perfect in boxing, do you know what I mean? And the fact that he did as best as he could in camp, and we took this opportunity and happy with, sorry, Luke Campbell's over there trying to put me off. Happy with the performance in the end. Do you know what I mean? He made it a very hard fight. Always going to be a great fight. A great fight with Chris. Do you know what I mean? He's always in not 50-50, but back and forth exchanges. But yeah, he dominated the fight, so I was happy with it.
Okay, can you talk me through the game plan coming into it, and then how you felt that game plan was being executed by your fighter, and the adaptations you had to make during the fight too?
Yeah, pretty much the way it was. I mean, I wanted him to jab his way in a little bit more, not look for big shots, but nearly had him out there in the second round and did so much damage early on that it really put rounds on Isaac. He went literally from the second round or the first round into the fifth or sixth, and that's something that guy that's never done 12 rounds before. I know he'd done 10 rounds of Watkins and he'd done 10 rounds of Lawrence Nicoli, but he'd never done 12. So it was set the pace early, take his legs away from him, make sure that he can't slip, pull, do all of the flashy stuff that he likes to do. Get in on him and get busy and cuff the shots around the side and beat him up. So Chris has really perfected that style. He needs to jab a little bit more, and that's something that I was a bit frustrated at times that he wasn't jabbing, and he turned the screw when he needed to and took rounds off when he needed to, especially when you don't have I mean, he had enough rounds of sparring, but he didn't have like an extensive camp. So, he knew that's his experience. The fact that he's had these fights now, he's been busy, he's been active, and he's able to. He knows he's able to take a round off, and he felt comfortable in there. So I was happy, but could have always been better. It can always be better. You can always nitpick, but happy with the performance.
Is that side of Chris just something that's just him? Like if it's going to be a fight, it's going to be a fight, and then you just have to go with it on the fly.
Yeah, but he can box. But it's just knowing, picking your battles. You know what I mean? Like he boxed a guy called Dubois. I can remember when he boxed Dubois. So he fought him when he needed to, boxed when he needed to. But when you stand back with Isaac Chamberlain, he's got a sharp jab and he's got good little twitches and he can draw your leads. So it was just make it a physical fight earlier. And but someone like Jay Optay is going to have much better feet, much better jab, much better distance control. So, but with that, there's not going to be as much physicality. So the actual transitions will be cleaner when he does go in there and box. So, but yeah, look, there's always another level to this game, and he needs to. He's winning at this level. He needs to have a few wins at the next level. And hopefully he gets himself a world title shot and wins.
Could you tell us what the situation is with Chris promotionally, and irrespective of that anyway, big fight next, wherever he goes next?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a one-fight deal. Ben Shalom knows it, and Eddie knows it. It's all about making sure that Chris gets a chance to come back here. That was the whole point. Chris gets a chance to come back here, and it was a risky move. Imagine if he'd lost there tonight. We've been taking risky moves with Chris ever since he came into the business. Do you know what I mean? When we had our Channel 5 deal with Cyclone, he wasn't a headline. So then we put him in against the Riakporhe fight, didn't win. He got a chance to box Craig Glover at short notice, took that one. Matchroom have been very good to him. Matchroom are good. They're good people. They've been really good to Chris, and gave him opportunities when they didn't need to. And there's no hard feelings. Eddie and Frank, we spoke to them the other day, and they're on great form. So, they're going to assess how Chris does, and so will Boxer, and I'm sure we'll come to an agreement moving forward. But we need to get fights that we're happy with, and in the location that we're happy with. So yeah, I'm sure we can come to an agreement. But we'll be back in talks with everyone.
I mentioned you're pulling triple duty tonight. A word on Hassan and Caroline. How do you assess their performances?
Yeah, I thought Caroline boxed really well. She did what she had to do. The girl was clearly in survival mode. It was never easy to box people like that go straight on the back foot and just want to try and get through rounds. But she broke her down. She broke the girl down well. She crept into range. In her first fight, she was thrown from far too far out, and she was lunging in, and it wasn't neat. She's getting so much better at fighting in close in the pocket. So really happy with it, really. I mean, I wish the girl had have threw more punches, made more of a go of it. But we'll go out September 10th and we'll go again.
Ready for that step up?
Yeah, definitely ready for a step up. And it's not that I'm trying to pad a record or anything. It's just we looked into into keeping her busy, and I think we're going to look for getting a title fight early next year. So I'll have a little step up in the next one, box again at the end of the year, and then we'll look for a title the following year. So I really believe she's going to beat them all. But once again, she's just 21. Like, it's not. She's only a baby. Do you know what I mean? So moving on to Hassan. Hassan, same thing. He hurt his opponent early on. I've never seen someone try and throw as many power punches in the first 3 minutes as he did. I couldn't believe it. But that's inexperience. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, fortunately, they're on Sky Sports, they're getting attention, but unfortunately, they're also on it, so they're trying to impress. And especially someone like Hassan, who's like his brother's knocking people out in 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and he's thinking, I want to do the same. But he's got a guy that's a young, I think that guy was only like 24 or something like that, like 23, 24. So those guys are fresh. They can recover quick. They're fit kids. So impressed with the fact that he gritted it out when he needed to, but it was messy and it was sloppy, and Hassan's a lot better than that. So yeah, he was disappointed. I'm disappointed in his performance, but I also have to take into consideration the variables, the fact that he's only young, the fact that he wants to try. He's in a busy gym with lots of massive names. He wants to try and make a name for himself. So that can sometimes work against you. So look, he'll have another one on hopefully September 10th. We'll get him out September 10th and we'll keep going again. But 6 amazing rounds. Just wish he'd have been more patient.
Just grab your thoughts on a couple of other things. Jake Paul is fighting next week. He's fighting Hashim Rahman Jr., not Tommy Fury. You were training with Tommy Fury. Can I just get your thoughts on the tape that you watched of Jake Paul? Can you highlight some of the weaknesses that maybe you'd seen and highlighted? And then also, if he beats Hashim Rahman Jr., have we got to give him the credit as a boxer?
Yeah, if he beats Hasim Rahman Jr., but it seems very staged. I don't. The thing about Tommy Fury fight was it was genuinely like Tommy was not going to go there to take a paycheck. He wanted to beat him up, and I think Hasim Rahman Jr.'s sparring partner. They've got a friendship, even though they'll try and play it that they don't. And it could be seen as a massive sort of scripted fight. I mean, I'm not too sure about it. What he does well, he punches hard. He's got a fast right hand. His chin's up in the air. His feet aren't synced with his hands. He jabs, he falls over himself, he moves on the back foot, crosses his leg all the time. He does everything wrong. But he's athletic, fast hands, and he makes it work. So that awkwardness makes him dangerous. It's really hard to prepare for someone like that because they're so awkward and they spring in with shots when they shouldn't and they move off, and it's and then also you're fighting double hard because you're fighting for rounds when you know that he's got the judges on his side. They need to keep him winning. So but what he is doing is drawing great attention to boxers, so you can't knock him for that.
Get your thoughts quickly, if you could summarise it. A lot of talks about the approach Anthony Joshua has to take to beat Usyk in the rematch. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, listen, I mean, make it. He's going to have to make it a competitive fight early on. He's going to have to get straight in on him. He can't stand back. Can't try and play jab for jab or try and keep the distance on him. He's going to have to get in, get physical on him, a bit like Chris Billam-Smith did with Isaac Chamberlain. Get straight in on him, tire him out. Don't necessarily have to punch in there. Lean on him, pull him, use your physical weight. Derek Chisora was able to do that, but the problem with that is it became very samey. It's very repetitive with Derek, whereas AJ, after 4 or 5 rounds, can then start using his great attributes like his feet and his speed and his combinations Easier said than done. I'm sitting here, on a bench, saying it. I'm not getting hit by a 17, 16 stone man, and Usyk, a southpaw with great distance control, great angles, and great variation of punches. So, but if you're going to do it, you've got to go and give it your all. And I think he has to do that. He has to give it his all.
Shane, a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for giving me some of your time, and congratulations on the win. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.